Hello, Quesnel, and welcome to Q Today. I'm Allison Duddy.
And I'm Mitch Vick, and this is our show for February the 1st, 2013. On this week's show, Simpson seeks another term and state-of-the-art snow clearing technology.
All right, and later in the show, Nate will be in conversation with Geroge Young, continuing his saga up the Fraser Canyon.
And here at Q Today, we bring you the recent news provided by our partnership with the Quesnel Caribou Observer, combined with a little bit of our own commentary. And we also bring stories from the field and from you with our field crew as well standing by. And moving on to news, Allison.
All right. Well, after 2 terms of serving Caribou North, MLA Bob Simpson is running again, this time as an independent. After 8 years, I believe our democratic system is broken, and in large part due to partisan control, Simpson says. I'm giving people a choice. Simpson said he has proven independence gets things done, adding he feels he has a higher profile than the vast majority of MLAs. He also said he has the utmost respect for his fellow candidates, Liberal Coralie Oakes and NDP Duncan Barnett, but said they will quickly learn their responsibility is to their party. Quite interesting.
Very interesting. It's going to be a tight race in this next provincial election.
We've got
3 very well-known candidates. It's going to be tight, so we'll definitely keep an eye on this evolving story.
Thanks.
There's a new monster on the road, and before I talk about this monster, I am not talking about the Starship Enterprise. With laser guidance systems, computerized touchscreen technology, and joystick controls, just like a fighter jet, this mega machine plows snow like nothing you've ever seen. HMC has just purchased a new Western Star Tridem axle double capacity sand hopper with laser guidance for the tow plow. And man, what a machine this is. A separate multi-lane clearing plow that is attached on the back end of this supersized addition to the HMC fleet. The sanding capacity of this tow plow allows the operator to distribute a light sanding in conjunction with the plowing for a minimum of 20 kilometers, lessening the trips required to refill the hopper. Superintendent for Quesnel, Bill Pattison, said this truck and tow plow is not only useful on the 4-lane sections, but also on the 2-lane with the adjustable extension. They can go from 4-lane to 2-lane on the fly. Of course, motorists need to be cautious when near this machine. They need to slow down and move as far to the right as possible when one of these plows is oncoming. As far as for the winter, Pattison added that this winter has been challenging, but they expect to finish the season with enough equipment and salt with the stockpiles that are left.
I can't wait to see it in action.
This sounds like an amazing machine.
You know what I thought of is Dragon Lake Hill, Airport Hill, Bushy Lake Hill, all the hills that are 4 lanes. What I generally see is they go up in the fast lane and push it all into the slow lane, and then they go up in the slow lane and push it all into the fast lane. And so being able to do 2 lanes at once, I think is going to be awesome for our area.
So it'll improve safety as well, because I don't like driving in that slop.
That's right.
On that first pass. Yeah.
So moving along, Deb and Joe McKinnon are pleased to say that High Ground Healing is back in Quesnel. They're adding new services to their repertoire after taking some time off. In August of 2012, Joe and I moved to the Kootenays for a lifestyle change and a timeout, certified colon specialist Deb McKinnon said. They're back now and offering several effective alternative approaches to healing. From the counseling perspective, Joe deals with the deep emotional connections between unresolved past events and current emotional conditions such as depression, anxiety, grief, and anger, Deb explained. As for Deb, colon therapy is a recent addition which she trained for and was certified in 2011. Colon hydrotherapy is the only method of cleansing the bowel which safely removes years of stagnation and toxic material and restores healthy bowel function. She says if you suffer from physical ailments, colonic will give the body the opportunity to heal faster with a great chance of success. If you would like information on this, you can give them a call at 983-9953. What do you think, Mitch? No, I don't want to know.
All right. Next story. Last week we reported on Tom Fletcher's article saying that people were not smart when it came to smart meters. We also reviewed StopSmartMetersBC.ca, a website against their use. The Observer has received a letter from Martin Eastman which questions Fletcher's objectivity. In short, Martin says, if Tom Fletcher does not agree with what people are protesting, he resorts to ridicule and degradation of their position. I am one of the naysayers that does not have a smart meter, which he calls a dumb meter, for a very few good reasons. The new meters are surveillance devices that record when and how much power is being used. This would be handy information for criminals to choose which houses are not being occupied. Another and the most insidious plan, according to Fletcher, is that in the future we will be paying for power on a time of use basis as they do in Ontario. So another very controversial topic that we've reported on before here, and we continue to. So
You bet. You bet.
a lot of opinions on this one.
For sure. There was also a letter from Mike Wright. He wrote an open letter to MP Dick Harris regarding the Idle No More movement. He says, in part, as a tax-paying senior in your riding, I am urging you and your government to virtually ignore the sudden media frenzy regarding First Nations. He continues, isn't it ludicrous to you that somewhere between 3 and 5% of our total population has taken over the mainstream media? This group of our society gets somewhere around 17% of our total federal budget, as well as what they get from the provinces. This is Mike talking here, for one, would like an audit done of each and every one of the 620-something reserves in this land. He also would question you that if he and a group of seniors here in Quesnel blockaded Highway 97 for 4 to 5 hours, demanding better facilities for seniors, he says it would not be long before we would be forced to disband. And he finishes up by saying, before anybody thinks I am a racist, he has worked on a reserve and has lived side by side with hard-working First Nations. So, some more strong opinions coming out in the editorials, yes.
So, something happened in curling recently, Allison.
Yes,
Tell us
Smith.
about it.
Well, as you may be able to see here, I'm wearing my Nanaimo Curling Center t-shirt that I was given this past weekend. I went down there to participate in the BC Wheelchair Curling Provincials.
Awesome.
Yes.
So how did we do?
Well, I am very pleased and proud and happy to show that my team and I, consisting of myself, Frank LaBounty from Prince George, Vince Miele from Richmond, and our skip Gary Cormack in Langley, Surrey. We won this great gold medal, which gives us the chance to participate in the national championship being held in Ottawa in March.
High five.
All right.
Way to go, Allison. That's great. Well, you guys are great, and good luck in Ottawa when that comes
We'll
up.
definitely, when I'm out there, I'll try and keep you guys posted on what's happening, so you can let the viewers know too.
Fantastic. All right, so now we have some feature interviews with Nate, and actually first we're going to talk with Susan McNeil with her great segment on home-based business. And this, Susan is speaking with Cindy Evans of Sticks and Stones and Feathers and Bones. Let's check that out.
Quesnel to our home-based business segment of our QToday show. I'm Susan McNeil, and today I have with me Cindy Evans. Welcome, Cindy.
Thank you.
And would you like to just explain what your beautiful display here is all about? We're so excited that we're having all these different home-based businesses come alive here on our show. So we'd just like to know a little bit more about what you're doing.
Well, I like to work with nature, so as you can see, I work on antler, I work on rock, I work on fungus, I also paint feathers, and whatever else is out there in nature that I can work with.
So I guess if you were strolling along the river walk and you saw something eye-catching like these beautiful stones here, that you would probably pick something up and make something out of that. These are just absolutely beautiful, and what a nice setting to be on a little bit of a turntable like that, so people could enjoy that at the coffee table. Could you tell me a little bit about your feather here? I just absolutely love this. It's set in a piece of rock and
yes,
painted on it a beautiful bird.
I have slabs of rock at home, and these are onyx beads, and the feathers, I've found feathers all over the place, and thought, well, I should do something with them, so I thought
Absolutely
birds should
beautiful
be painted
piece.
on feathers, so I paint birds on feathers.
And some feather earrings there I see as well. Now, can you tell us where we can find you?
Okay, I'm at 2332 Gorder Road on just off of Paradise,
Okay.
and I work from home. I do go to the farmer's market. I haven't for the last year because of my work schedule,
Okay.
but I'm planning this year to do the farmer's markets again.
Well, that's good. So is there a phone number that we can contact you at?
Yes, 250-249-5078.
And are
And-
you on Facebook by any chance?
Yes, I'm on Facebook,
Oh,
and
great.
my email address is kind_e_evans@yahoo.ca.
So that's good, so that we can phone you at home when you're not at the farmer's market.
That's right.
And come and have a viewing of some of the things that you do.
Yes.
I'm very intrigued by the billiard balls, pool balls here. Can you tell me how this came to mind that you would do something like that? That's very different.
Well, I have a real 8-ball,
Okay.
so I don't know, I found so many round rocks that I thought that would be the perfect venue for round rocks would be pool balls. I do have a cue to go with them.
What a great conversation piece for a coffee table.
Yes.
Absolutely lovely.
Yes.
Now, could you talk a little bit about the stone painting on the far end, the little Stone Age man there? How did that come about?
Well, it was a rock I found at my water fountain outside when I lived on Hydraulic Road. And when I looked at it, I saw a deer, or not the deer hunter, I saw a gold panner.
Okay.
Because I'm into gold mining myself. And when I started painting it, it just came to be what it is through the lines that are naturally in the rock.
I'm very intrigued by that. It's very, very lovely. Now, just before we close off with Cindy, I would like Cindy to hold up the moccasin stone that she's got here, and it's absolutely fabulous. It is so unique.
These are used for door stops. I have many different shoes and in different styles
I just love
that
it.
I use for that. This is
Very unique.
Yes.
Very unique. Add a little bit of sheepskin and make a doorstop out of it. Lovely. Well, thank you so much, Cindy, for coming today.
you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
It's just another home-based business from Quesnel, and we'll look forward to seeing Cindy at the farmers market this year. And don't forget, you can call her at home and pop in when convenient to have a look at her wares. Thanks, Quesnel.
Thank you.
All right, that was great. She had some really interesting little knickknacks and stuff like
Very
that. I found it-
creative.
Yeah,
Very
very
creative.
creative. So moving on, this is the Quesnel Arts Council 40th anniversary. Last week, we began our talk with Lana Johnson and Bernice Heinzelman, and we learned how valuable the council is to the arts community and to our entire community. Today, we'll be focusing on a special event to which we are all invited. Let's take a look.
Okay, thanks, guys. Well, I'm back again this week with Bernice Heinzelman. Hello, Bernice.
Hi, Nate.
And hi, Lana.
Hi.
Lana Johnson. And you're president and you're treasurer of
Yes.
the Quesnel Community Arts Council, Quesnel District. Okay. So last week we talked a little bit about the history, the function of the Arts Council. You guys are very proud of what you do. And there were some things that we after the show we said, hey, we forgot to mention something.
Well, we have done things with the First Nations, and go ahead, Lana.
We try to make sure that when we're organizing events and things, we're trying to include other cultures and nationalities. So we try to bring in a lot of our First Nations heritage and background. So the event that we're actually promoting today, we have an opening prayer done by one of our First Nations band representatives from town.
Very well respected person,
Yeah.
Geneva, when I understand
Yeah.
will be coming, yes.
So we always try to tie in some cultural aspects. We have another event that we're going to be doing for Quesnel Children's Concerts, and it's going to be tying in our Indian culture as well. So we'll promote that again at another time. But
Right.
for now, yeah, we
Okay,
just
so
wanted to
now
tie that
let's
in.
talk about the event that's going to happen on February 16th at 1 o'clock at the rec center, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So to start off with, when you first come in the lobby, we're going to have the Northern Light harpists are going to be playing some music to kind of set the the mood of the event. People are walking in and being greeted.
Being the 40th anniversary.
Yes, it is the 40th anniversary. The event is called Celebrating the Arts. And as you come in, you're going to make your way towards the art gallery, and the Word Spinners, which are a member of our Arts Council, they're going to be there, and they're going to be doing poetry readings and book readings, segments from books, and they're going to kind of take a feel for who's there at the crowd. They might do some children's stories, they might do some more adult, risque, or one of the art authors was actually a little worried because she's got some very thriller suspense, and she said that she's definitely going to take a feel for the crowd. But it's all original pieces from our local writers, so that's going to be really nice. And then you're going to make your way into the West Fraser Timber Room, where we're going to have a variety of VIPs doing presentations, brief speeches, as to how they were impacted or involved with the Arts Council over the last 40 years, and what it's done for them in the community, or how they see it as being a benefit. And then after that, we're going to have a number of performers. Opening ceremonies is going to include Geneva Irwin doing the opening prayer, as we've already mentioned, and Sweet Harmony doing O Canada. We're going to have the Festival of the Performing Arts is going to be providing some students in a number of their various categories that they have performing, including choral. I'm not sure if they're going to have any choir.
No, they will just have choral.
Choral. They were talking about piano as well.
Okay.
Not sure if they're
Not
going to
sure.
have piano. They do have dance performances in their competitions, but I don't think we're going to have any at our show. The fiddlers, the Quesnel Old Time Fiddlers, are going to be doing a performance. We are going to have our quilters group is going to be doing a display of quilts that they've made over the history of their organization. The Sherari House is going to be doing origami tables, teaching, entertaining our kids, parents too if they want. Friends of the Library and Harvest are going to be having displays, and a variety of our other member groups. And the River City Music Association, I think, might be doing performance as well.
Yes,
So
they will
gonna be
be
a lot of
playing.
fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's going to be lots going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really like the idea that it's just not speeches, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's, I mean, speech from the person that is, that's their art. But to have things that people will really just come and enjoy, and having 40 years of being part of the Quesnel community, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
And it's most of the stuff that's being done and performed at the event is a lot of it's by our member groups. So that's the nice thing too, is we're supporting and coming together and showing how we work as a community amongst ourselves in the arts.
And Bernice, I think you said there might be some prizes at the end?
Oh yes, we have 3 prizes, the door prizes. So please be sure that you enter the draw. And one is a unframed painting by Maggie Ferguson Dumais. Another one is a handmade wood box, which was done by Mr. Larry Martins. And the third one is a piece of pottery by Pat Wallstrom.
Wow, that'll be really
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
Yes.
We're also going to have complimentary refreshments and beverages, as well as an anniversary cake, which we're going to have the official cutting. We're going to be launching our new logo at the event,
really? Oh,
and our new brochure as well, which lists all of our member groups and their contact information too. So.
And I'd just like to mention that the Arts Council has been working very hard towards trying to get money for the multi-center, because this is going to be such a wonderful event with our 1,600-seat arena and our 450-seat theater, and it will certainly make a difference to our community.
You're pretty hopeful it's going to happen, right?
I
Bernice?
am. I really am.
That's good, yeah. So, without the arts, what would Quesnel be like?
It would not be the place that it is today. Believe me, we have so many wonderful artists in our community, and music and dance and performing, and the number of writers that we have is phenomenal for our small community. We're really blessed to be here in Quesnel.
And Lana?
I think just by seeing events that we did last year with things like Hullabaloo, the 2-day children's festival, the feedback that we get from putting on stuff like that is just huge. And if we can reach out for more grant monies to be able to put on events like that, we definitely will, because the reactions from our members as well as the community is pretty rewarding.
So the date again of the 40th celebration is February the
16th.
16th, a Saturday, and it is 1 to 4 at the rec center. Any last words?
Oh, we just invite everybody to come and join us.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Lana. Thanks, Bernice.
Thank you.
Okay, back to you folks at the anchor desk.
That's great. And as I referred to a little earlier, Nate was busy last week. And who should drop in to visit him but our old friend Geroge Young with some more of his family history. But first, what do you think this is, Allison?
Well, I see a lot of deer walking around in my yard, Mitch, and I'm guessing that's a little bit big for a deer, so I'm going to hedge my bets that it is a moose hoof.
I'm thinking you're right on that.
Good, good.
But it's got a slightly different purpose than what you might think there.
Okay, I've never seen a moose hoof quite like that
Yeah,
one.
special storage device, we'll say here
Awesome.
on QToday.
Great.
Anyway, let's take a look.
I'm here again with Geroge Young. Hi, George. How are
Hi,
you?
how are you doing?
Okay, so we're on a big trip.
Right.
And it started, you were born in Quesnel.
Right.
You went down to New Westminster.
Well, we lived in Marguerite, and then in 1945 we moved to New Westminster, and then in 1952 we came back. The next two pictures are just a couple history pictures of a stern whaler coming up the Thompson River there. They actually came all the way through the Fraser Canyon, this one boat there. Yeah.
Wow.
And as we're coming up through the canyon there, and notice the cement walls and that was all kind of done with boards and shiplap and that, where they poured the cement there. And then the bottom picture shows just the Fraser Canyon and the trains, how long they are, even today.
Yeah, they're even longer today, aren't they?
Right, yes.
Yeah, but they had the trains going in the 1950s still.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then the old lines there where they used to put the telegraph lines on the beside the railroad
Right,
and stuff,
right,
yeah,
right.
and the old insulators and that. And then we're coming up to Yale, and we're coming to the old Alexandria Lodge.
Right, and that's, everybody sees that, and probably everybody looks at it and says, gee, I'd like to go in there someday.
Yeah.
And they just keep driving by. But you frequented quite a bit, eh?
Yeah, it's still open today, I think.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes
I
anyway.
think so, yeah.
Yeah, you never know. You just got to kind of look.
And inside,
And of course, inside there's some part of the menu on the wall and stuff. And
nothing much has changed,
yeah,
eh?
5 cents for a Coca-Cola and different pop bottles and stuff.
Wow.
And then we
Yeah.
come up to Hell's Gate, and that, of course, that tunnel there, I'm not sure when that was put in, whether that's an old picture or a new one. And then we got the where they have the tram that goes down to Hell's Gate. Wasn't never existed back then. And then we're coming up.
So
the,
it wasn't a tourist attraction until later on.
No, they just put fish ladders in there. And of course, now the bottom picture there is just us coming down that narrow road. It looks like the truck is actually wider than the road when you're sitting
right.
in there.
How about how fast were you going there?
Oh, you could walk, but outside is pretty easy, you know. Like a tractor today or a car today in first gear without stepping on the gas too much is about as fast as that thing went in high gear.
Right? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you had the gear down after that, eh? And of course inside there's the old telephone and some things in that. There were painting inside the garage and stuff, so they had everything kind of just laid out of the way so they could paint it inside. And then a couple pictures of Yale and an old stopping place there.
Right.
And then we come along to Lytton, and there's a motel and a couple of girls posing on this old Massey Harris tractor there.
Right? Lytton is at that's where the Thompson comes in?
Right, yeah.
Into the Fraser? Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
And then we're just coming along there again, and this here, the bottom picture here is a moose foot, and of course it has,
And guess what? There it is.
yeah,
You brought it in.
a vodka bottle inside it there, so that when you're driving on the trail in the olden days there, if somebody wanted to see your
In
bottle,
those days.
you all wanted it, so this way they never seen a foot, they
No,
didn't
so
bother
if a
too much.
cop saw you, you just would be drinking out of a foot. He wouldn't think anything.
Yeah,
And so they opened it up, And how they got the bottle in by opening up the hoof?
Yeah, and sewed it up at the bottom there. And of course,
Yeah.
we used to take a couple of these feet here and we tie them on stilts and have stilts and walk around the campground and stuff. And then these trackers would look there and they said, well, gee, it looks, they couldn't figure out how come there's 2 feet missing here.
Yeah, right, exactly. They would. And of course, Shaw wouldn't like us to drink out of it, so we'll just have to put her down, I guess.
Yeah,
Right? Okay,
maybe,
all right. Thanks for bringing that in.
Okay, and then we're coming along now and coming to the China Bar and the old tunnel there and a couple falls. That's in
Beautiful.
yeah, nice
beautiful.
little falls coming
Yeah,
there.
the China Bar.
And then we're coming through the tunnel again, and then we're coming into Spence's Bridge now.
Okay.
And then off to the left side there, there's nice falls. Looks like it comes right out of the rock, but I guess it comes from way back. And then we're coming into Spence's Bridge, and there's a motel and hotel and cafe and stuff there. And
I like that car there,
an
hey?
old Model T, eh?
Yeah.
Sitting in the
It's
garage.
in good shape then.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
And then we're crossing the bridge now and going into Spence's Bridge.
And that's where the Route 8 comes out to Merritt. You could have turned there to go
Yes,
to
yeah.
Princeton, right?
And then right there, just at the turn, there's some nice hoodoos there and this old car body there, Model T, it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we've gotten as far as Spence's Bridge now. And, well, let's go just a little bit further before we have to take a break.
Right, and then there's another falls, and how
Wow,
narrow the road
look
was
at
back
that.
then, eh?
A
You
lot
know?
of, were there a lot of rocks on the road?
Oh
that you
yeah,
had to
they had blocked it
stop
right
and-
off, yeah. And then we're coming into Ashcroft, and of course, there was Chinese people had a fruit stand there and stuff, and because it's quite a warm climate in there, they could grow just about anything in that area.
Wow. Yeah, it is nice, eh?
Yeah.
Sort of like a microclimate. It's always a little bit warmer
Yeah, a
there.
little bit like desert, isn't it? Eh?
Yeah,
With
it's a
the-
desert, yeah. area,
with
yeah.
these kind of things on the bottom there, yeah.
Okay, George, we're going to take a break there for this week and then come back next week. And next week, the next program, rather, we'll be going from here right up to Williams Lake, and you have something special near the end.
Right, yes, okay. yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Now, shall we tell them what it is?
Well, let's keep them on suspense for a bit, should we? Or
Okay.
what do you think? Or
No,
what do you
that's
want?
right. We'll keep them on suspense, and we'll be back next week, and we'll...
But I think they'll sure be, a lot of people will be interested in what we have to show them.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot, George.
Yeah, bye.
Oh, that was great. Okay, so now it's time to take a look at what's happening locally with our community calendar.
That's great. Well, that's it for this show. We want to hear from you with your story and your comments on our show. Whatever you think is important, we think is important. Watch us on Cable 10, QCATV.ca, or on YouTube. So email us today at QCATV.ca with your story, or ask us to cover a story for you that you think is important. And we would love to hear from you. And remember,
Q Today is about.
Quesnel talking to Quesnel.
Bye for now.